Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Pwny Montana, and today got a nice little video for you guys. We're gonna be going over defense, and it's pretty much gonna be like a defensive guide right here. The defense that we're gonna be going over is the championship defense of Pavan. I forgot how you pronounce the name. I don't want to butcher his name too much, so I'll try to refrain from saying it often. My bad, dog. But yeah, we're going to be going over nickel 3-3-5, and this defense is possibly the best defense in the game, with coverage. It's not that great on running, but if you learn how to shoot the gap, it's extremely effective in every sense of the word. And that's something that Pavan learned how to do out of this formation, is shooting the gap. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, dislike the video, share it, whatever you guys want to do, man. Just show me that you're there. Now, before I get started, if you guys are running this, one thing that you guys pretty much have to do to make this as effective as possible is they dropped a patch. I think it was like 3-4 months. I'm pretty sure it was like 3 months ago. They dropped a patch where in nickel 3-3-5, you were pretty much allowed to put safeties in at your linebacker spot. Now, I know that this isn't brand new news, but in this formation at the beginning of the year, it wasn't like that. This was the only nickel formation where you couldn't substitute safeties in at the linebacker position. Now, for this, we are rocking the Raiders because that's the club champions team. So right now, I'm putting my linebacker here at my safeties in at the outside linebacker and the middle linebacker spot. And that's one of the main things that makes this formation really glitchy, is because if you have really strong free safeties with decent man coverage, like this formation is pretty much locked down. There's not a lot that you can do to pretty much pass on this formation like consistently, because there's just so much coverage behind it. Now, let's just get into a random empty play just for the hell of it. We're just gonna get in that. Now, in 3-3-5, nickel 3-3-5, one of the main things that you guys want to be doing is just coming out in a simple regular Tampa 2. Now, this is one of those formations that you guys have to get good on your quick adjustments with. If you guys aren't good at your quick adjustments, I wouldn't recommend you guys being in this defense. I'll drop another video on another defense that you guys should 100% be in, that you guys will be able to get wins with just by simply doing one simple adjustment. Or two if you count base aligning as a simple adjustment. So let's hop right into the Tampa 2 to show you guys how Pavan, or Pavan, however the hell that they pronounce his name, how he pretty much dominated like pretty much everybody, dude. It was kind of special to see somebody so young dominate the way that he did. Now, one of the main things that he did is he left auto defensive flip on. So in this case, the strong side of the field will be the right side, because you see how they have the three receivers plus the tight end, and the left side has 2. Now, we can't do that in practice mode. We can't have that. So, you know, let me just call timeout. We can't have that in practice mode. We can't have defensive auto flip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come out and flip the play, especially if we're coming out in that empty tray flex. So the auto defensive flip pretty much puts your nickel on the strong side of the field. So right now, this is where it would be. And as soon as you come out the huddle, you take this blitzing nickel and you move them up. You move them up above the up above the linebacker. You don't have to base align first. You don't have to do anything. Just make sure that that blitzing nickel corner goes above the linebacker. Now, what that does, it creates this weird little glitch where from time to time, they'll literally blitz right in, and sometimes they won't get picked up. Now, on the other side of the field, on the other side of the linebacker core, you got Nelson, and the options that you have with Nelson, you can blitz him. You can simply just blitz him, or you can spy him. Now this is if you guys are trying to get a lot of pressure. If you spy him, if you guys watch the club championship, you notice that the QB spies literally picked off the quarterback like in like 6 different games. It was kind of crazy because you wouldn't expect a spy to play that, but spies literally, if someone is trying to lowball you, if someone is trying to throw a drag literally straight in the middle of the field where their quarterback is standing, that spy will play the ball. If they highball it, that's the only way the spy is not going to play it. But if they spy him, that spy will end up getting interceptions for you if they're throwing short little drags, short little slants. That was a little voice crack. I apologize. But the QB spies are possibly one of the best defensive adjustments in the game, especially if you have somebody fast like Reggie Nelson or whatever the hell his name is. But yeah, so this is what one of the play designs will look like. You can also obviously blitz the outside linebacker on the right side and have literally even better coverage. Now, in this situation, I would just man up these guys and move this guy in with a deep quarter and put the guy on the outside on a soft squat because he'll end up playing a little bit of man coverage on the outside. Because we're sending so much pressure, this is what I would like to see if – this is what I would do simply if I was sending a lot of pressure. Is just have one side covered, the weak side covered, and then on the right side just have a few zones that'll be able to play specific routes. Now, you move down the quarter and he'll end up playing, like if they try to throw like a quick streak, that guy will be there. The only thing that'll beat you in the situation is if the man coverage on the left side doesn't work, or if your user isn't good enough to guard like a drag or a slant on the right side. So you don't have to hover above the line, but one thing you can do with your user is literally blitz them yourself. Doesn't matter which side, but I'm gonna go on the left side so the tackle kind of hovers over. Now, and I know I'm talking a lot, but this defense is just that good. So now with this defense, with the QB spy, you can leave the QB spy. As you can see, my man came through screaming right through the gap, and that was only sending 5 people. You can leave the QB spy, and if they start blocking extra people, with this spy, one thing that you guys can do is as soon as they hike it, click the right stick in, and the spy will end up blitzing in as well. And with the spy blitzing in as well, it ends up being like a little delayed blitz, which ends up helping. As you can see, look, he like backs up a little bit because I haven't clicked R3 yet. So as soon as you hike it, he backs up to be the QB spy. But as soon as I click R3, he comes in absolutely screaming. No one cares about him. They're like, oh, that guy's not doing a damn thing. He's not sacking me. And next thing you know, he's right up in the quarterback's grill, getting a nice little sack. Something very, very, very glitchy that you guys can do. Now, one thing, if you're not sending pressure out of this formation, one thing that you guys have to do, make sure you guys put those safeties in the box at linebacker position, and then you guys have to start manning people up. That's just one thing that you guys have to do, is man people up if you guys are trying to play as much coverage as possible. So in this situation, boom, just so we don't give up any deep balls on the right side. This is something simple that we can do. Now, another thing that we can do with this blitzing cornerback, because I know like obviously some of you guys might not want to always blitz him because he is a cornerback. One thing that you guys can do, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about nickel 335, but if you guys want extreme coverage with nothing, with like literally just extreme coverage, this is pretty much going to be your little user in the middle of the field, like your little defensive general, is this blitzing cornerback. Right now he's blitzing. He comes out on a natural blitz. One thing you guys can do is put him on a bluff blitz. Now what that does, and you can do this with most outside linebackers in like 3-4 formations and stuff like that. Anybody who's on pretty much on the right or left side of the defensive end. One thing that does is it puts them in a 3 rec. So when you call a hike, your user can pretty much go anywhere at this point. So right now, the only thing that they can beat you on is a deep route on the right side, or a flat route, obviously. Or they can, if you don't want to get beat deep in this situation, all you have to do is literally follow anything that's going deep to the left side. So that's what your user's in charge of. Now the 3 rec is in charge of playing. Look at where the 3 rec went. literally clamped up a hitch. Like it, like a 3-rec literally plays like the 3 receiver side of the field. That's why he mainly looked over there. He's right here. So he's supposed to play anything that comes in the middle from the 3 receiver side of the field. So he comes straight out and clamps up the hitch route. But by the time that the hitch route's there, we end up getting a sack. Now he will play that hitch route. Trust me. The 3-recs play drags, they play hitches, they play like little slants, they play like mini post routes. They are very, very, very glitchy. And to be able to put one on the field makes this formation 10 times more deadly. Now on the same side, if you do that, you can also, all right, let's just baseline. If you do that, you can put your guy on a bluff blitz and then blitz the opposite guy. Just blitz the opposite guy. You can also put this guy. You can put the opposite guy on a QB spy, and then once they hike it, you can literally send it. And as you can see, I'm actually gonna show that one more time and show you how glitchy like the little QB spy situation is, because that's something that literally confused a lot of people, and a lot of people were throwing interceptions right to the QB spies. So right now we got the QB spy there. He backs up a little bit, and look, he has a man that's supposed to block him. That guy's supposed to block him right there. But as soon as I click R3, he literally just gets preoccupied and starts, I don't know, looking at a cheerleader or something like that. And boom, we end up getting a sack. Now this happens online, and this also, something that I forgot to mention, this is also a shed defense. So you will be getting really, really, really good sheds on this defense. Yeah, I don't I don't know what else to go over, but in this formation you can also use her. You don't have to use her this middle linebacker, because I know a lot of you guys like having your deep third, but I'm pretty sure that this guy goes in the deep third too. What about this linebacker? Yeah, they all can go in a deep third, meaning that you have the option to use her any 3 of these guys. I went 25-0 as well, not to toot my own horn. I didn't win a club championship or anything like that, but I did go 25-0 using this defense on Weekend League, and I used the outside linebacker, so you guys can also do that as well. Let's go over a couple simple setups, like coverage setups that you guys can do. For one, simple, you literally can just run your old basic cover 2. A lot of the times you will get sheds, and they will not be able to go, like they won't be able to make a read fast enough before you can do that. Second, we can literally man up our people. We can man up our people and put our blitzing cornerback, make him think that he's automatically blitzing, but instead we're going to put him in a spy, so he will play the middle of the field, and your job is pretty much to guard anything that comes into the deep middle. Now, another thing you guys can do is put your safeties in outside quarters. A lot of people might not like to do that, but it is a very, very glitchy tactic that literally plays like they don't get beat. Like, especially if someone is in bunch, something that a lot of people like to do in bunch is fade one of the outside receivers so that they can beat you over the top. From like, they'll be able to beat you in the middle if you have a deep half, because your safeties are supposed to only guard the deep half. So say our user is not supposed to be there. That deep middle of the field is literally wide open, and a lot of the times that's what a lot of people do, is they leave the deep middle wide open. So that's one thing that will help you not get beat by, is that. Also, you can man up this guy while you got the outside corridor and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just you guys got to get creative with the coverages, because there's so many things that you guys can do. Also, you guys can cross man with the safeties. You guys can cross man with the linebackers if you want. So you can. This is cross man central right now. Look at this. It's just you guys can do whatever you want out of this formation, because it's just that glitchy. There's just so many options that you guys can do. So many options. I wish I can show you guys how to shoot the gap out of this, but it's kind of hard with not having somebody else to lab with and make videos on this. But another thing that you guys can do out of this formation is I also posted a blitz on this video. I'll leave the link to that in the description below. Now I'm just gonna reset the play. I'll leave the link for that in the description below, so you guys can actually run that. but it was a blitz that was put out when the contains were actually around. But I feel like it still worked, and this is something that I did a lot. Now, I changed the blitz up a little bit, and I end up moving the cornerback up, and literally I just ended up blitzing pretty much the house. You know, you got the cornerback blitzing on the outside, and you got your linebacker blitzing on the other side. Now, what I did, I also crashed the D line up, and then boom, my man. Okay, he's actually looping. He's actually looping, but the big fat lineman kind of got in the way. He did not get picked up by the lineman. He literally just looped around. As you can see, let's show that real quick. He looped right around the lineman, and the lineman was too slow. He just ended up getting jammed up because of the animation that the defensive end grabbed with the offensive tackle. So let's run it one more time. Now this blitz, I'm not gonna go over like the setups. You guys can just watch the other video because that's like I already posted this blitz, so I'm not gonna show it to you guys again. But let's do it one more time. As you can see, Scream Team. Like, and this is just sending 5 people. And online, if you guys are playing like, you know, MUT and stuff like that, you guys will get sheds for days, and it's very, 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 very glitchy. Now, I can't stress enough. This is gonna be the last thing that I talk about. I can't stress this enough. When you guys are running cover 2, a lot of people like to stay in this habit where they're just sitting there in a cover 2 with a deep blue. Yes, that's fine. But if you guys are getting beat over the top, now this has nothing to do with this nickel 335, but it's just a tip that a lot of people need to start doing more often. If you guys are running any type of cover 2 and are getting beat over the top, because any smash concept, any deep corner route, like any corner route that's going to the deep outside is going to torch your cover 2, man. So you guys need to know what you're guarding. And one thing that you guys need to start doing more often, because people are still getting torched by these deep corner routes, is literally just put some outside quarters out there, man. I think I put them in deep halves. Put some outside quarters out there. Outside quarters will change your Madden game. Trust me. That's how you guard Pat Sale. It's how you guard the deep crosser on the opposite side. Like, you'll have a man there. Press outside quarter. They don't get beat deep most of the time. But if you guys are rocking with like an 86 speed cornerback and someone's got Moss on the other side and y'all get Mossed and Moss runs past your 86 speed cornerback and you come back to my video talking about, yo, Pwny, I got burnt even though you told me put outside corner. Bro, it's Moss and you got a shit team. All right, step your game up, get a better team, and stop complaining about it. Simple. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was long and I apologize, but this is definitely one of the best defensive videos. If you guys like the video, let me know if I should do another one of these like low-key full defensive breakdowns on specific coverages. But this is a championship defense, so I figured it should be a little bit long because there's a lot to go over in it, man. So many things that you guys can do, especially that cross-manning tip, man. Like, if you guys have some good cornerbacks, you guys can put cornerbacks here. You guys can put your cornerbacks here to have a little bit of extra man coverage. I'm still talking. You guys have a great day. My name is Pwny Montana. As always, man, 2 fingers, deuces, peace.